Knife Dope. More dope. Come and get your fix. What's up, fuckers? Your boy's back with a fresh batch of dope. Knife Dope. That's right, people. The hits don't stop. Y'all remember this beauty from a few weeks back? This is the Cold Steel Full Metal Atlas, the artist formerly known as the FM-1. And I have been raving about this knife. You know, this was actually my favorite pickup from this year's Blade Show. Was blown away from it, or rather blown away by it from the very beginning. And after carrying it for a few weeks, I am even that much more confident in recommending this knife. You know, something has changed from their first iteration of the Atlas lock. Their Cold Steel's Atlas lock is a lock I like to think is kind of very similar to the Demko Shark lock. It is a coil spring based locking mechanism. And then of course there's some sorcery going on underneath the hood. So I'm contemplating doing a little disassembly video side by side to kind of see what it is we got going on. And then also I think this one just might be my favorite Cold Steel knife to date. And that's saying a lot, because prior to that, this AD-15 was #1 for me. But this Full Metal Atlas is creeping up. Now we also got 3 knives you're going to be taking a look at today. All of these are mine. I ended up making a purchase on White Mountain, and then these 2 I got via trade. So we're going to take a look at all this shit, and without further ado, let's get to the dope. Okay. Now, as far as these trades go, we're just going to do a quick brief, just check it out right quick. That's about it. And then we'll dive further into the purchase. Now, what I ended up saying, first of all, my trade partner was Mr. Scott from Let's Do It Up YouTube channel. If you aren't following him, at least go ahead and head over there and give him a shot. Funny dude. And he managed to have 2 knives that I was interested in getting. One of these is coming to us from TRM, Three Rivers Manufacturing. And this is basically a re-up for me, as I have owned this knife in the past, just not in this configuration. This, of course, is the iconic TRM Shadow. Wonderful knife that really I didn't appreciate as much as I probably should have. You know, granted, the first one I bought, which was the Merlot micarta version, I had a couple of issues, you know, right out the gate. Mainly, I had some sloppy, you know, action with this crossbar lock. And then I had some issue with my, with the actual nuts to the crossbar itself kind of backing out. I had a couple of other things, but, you know, ended up fixing all that and then traded it, and then realized that I really wanted to keep one in the collection. So, yeah, thank you to Scott for this one. This is the Black G10 version, 20 CV blade steel. Immediately upon receiving it, I did replace the stock springs, and it's already that much better. Okay, next up was this one. Now, this is actually a knife coming from a company that I had never had the opportunity to check out. It is a model that I had kind of looked from, you know, from afar, kind of admired it. And the trade managed to work itself out to where I ended up getting this as well. Don't know if I mentioned it yet, but I did send out the Remet Swordfish and the Asher Spiro for these 2. So the first part of that trade was the Shadow, and then the second part was this. This is the Vargas Knives VBR. These are actually OEM by Riot. Never had an opportunity, like I said, to check these out. I think this is batch 2, or rather version 2 to the VBR. I could be wrong on that. If you know, let me know in the comments. But this one has got this snakeskin carbon fiber inlay. We've got blasted bolsters. There was a few cosmetic blemishes that he pointed out to me. We've got a little snail trail here or there, as well as on the show side bolster. We've also got one here on the back spacer. Let's check it out. Woo! Detent is dialed the fucking, look at that blade, people. I can tell that is a Riot grind on that. But we've got a nice drop point blade, M390 steel, dual grind. So we've got a nice hollow here on the main portion, flat on that reinforced tip. Generous finger choil is going to accommodate that full purchase, no refund. Riding on cage ceramic bearings, glassy, glassy smooth. Now this does seem a little bit larger than I like to carry. So therefore I'm not sure if this will stick around. But yeah, that was the second knife I got via trade. Okay, let's get to this one. Now be prepared. This is budget dope. And to be honest with you, I had no intention of buying this knife if it wasn't for Mr. Cooey. So however I end up feeling about this knife, we're going to blame it on him. This is a new offering from a new company of sorts, Ironfly. Now, Ironfly is actually the budget entity to Kunwu. Now, you know, I have bought several Kunwu knives over the years, and, you know, I'm a fan of their work. Now, that being said, I have not kept any of the knives. I ended up selling them, but they do make good knives, you know, great competitive pricing, commitment to quality heat treats. So it was kind of, you know, kind of surprising that they went this budget route. This is the Yolo. Ended up scoring this on White Mountain Knives. They were $69, but I ended up using KnifeDope for the discount code, so I checked out at $62. This version has got like a black G10, which is slightly contoured. Love the fact that you can see that grain structure. It actually feels pretty premium for some nice G10. Single form of deployment, which are actually allowed two forms. We got a nice bit of fuller access, as well as that elongated pill-shaped cutout. Okay. Not bad for a button lock. I think part of the issue might be because this blade kind of feels a little top heavy. But as far as aesthetics goes, we got a nice 3.3 inch reverse Tonto blade in 14C. 7.6 inches is the overall length, so knife is right in my sweet spot. Also have a great generous choil for you to choke up. Blade stock thickness came in at 125 thousandths. Got a nice full flat grind, machine satin finish. Now, as far as the button actuation goes, very, very smooth. No issues there. It appears we've got some type of logo here on the pivot. What is that? Okay, that is actually the Ironfly logo. Pretty cool. Appears to be T8s as far as pivot goes, and then same thing going for the body screws. Wire pocket clip, which is right or left hand tip up. For some reason, they sent an additional pocket clip, so hey, I'm not mad at it. Now, we do have a crown backspacer. I don't think that is steel, though, for some reason. Yeah, I don't think that's steel. I think that might be aluminum. I mean, I highly doubt it'd be titanium, but you never know. Hidden lanyard post for those weirdos. Now, one of the things I'm not digging, and I didn't notice that until actually buying the knife, is just how much of the blade is exposed when it's closed. Typically, that's not my jam, but, you know, it's a budget knife, people. $69 for fuck's sake, so. But it feels solid. You know, the quality feels good. As far as lockup goes, no blade play, right, left, up, or down. You know I got to do it, right? Let's spine whack the hoe. Okay, solid, solid job by Kunwu, which I expected, you know. Like I mentioned, they do good work, so I didn't think they'd give us a poor knife, but you never know nowadays. Let's go ahead and put some comparisons up to give you a better idea on the size of this thing. Basically, a little bit of knife flexing. You know how the fuck we do. Gotta roll with America first, and we're gonna go like this. This pretty little hoe. As a matter of fact, tonight is the night for the Knife Mod Mayhem competition. It will be live at 10 p.m. Eastern. You can watch it on Rochambeau EDC's channel. There'll be live voting, and this is my submission. If you head on over there to the website, you can find it by looking up Pretty Little Hoe. So there you see that. Then we've got another USA-made knife, and that's going to be the Manix 2, rocking those gorgeous original goat scales. So there's the Yolo up against those. Let's do a couple more, shall we? Now, this next one actually gives me very similar vibes, especially in the closed position. This is the Wii Roxy 3. Ergos are also very similar. Just the platform altogether looks like a smaller version of that Yolo. Next up is going to be the most, or rather the most impressive budget knife I've had in 2 years. That, of course, is coming to us from Vosteed, and that is the top liner lock version to the Raccoon. So here we see the Yolo up against those. Let's do 2 mo. God damn it, 2 mo. How about the two knives coming from the 2 top companies when it comes to plunge locks? First up is going to be the ProTech Mordax. And then lastly, we're going to go with WE, which I feel is a strong contender for possibly one day passing ProTech for plunge lock mechanism. So here we see that Yolo up against those. You know, I don't wish for WE to beat ProTech when it comes to the lock face geometry on these plunge locks. But it does, competition is good. A healthy competition is good for this community and for this genre. But anyways, back to the Yolo. Now, not necessarily sure if this will ever find my pocket or if it'll even stick around. Bought it just for some content. As you know, I'm just doing it for the culture. But as far as recommendation goes, you know, if you're trying to stay in that budget realm, I think this is a solid offering. You know, you could do a lot worse than this. The price is right. You're getting a lot of quality materials here for what you're paying, as you should. You know, Chinese OEM. There should be no way we should be seeing prices that are, you know, nearing what we would pay for as far as USA goes. But there you have it, people. The Yolo from Ironfly. But more importantly, I want to know what you fuckers think. Are you into budget knives? Are you digging this Yolo? Tell me all about it. Love you, mean it. Until the next time. Cut something. Cut someone. Just don't cut yourself. Stay dangerous, fuckers.